Gotei's finest staff welcomes you to the Soul Society. Hold on to your seats and shinigamis for the wild ride. Here's the cheese. We've all had fight scenes that made us go, hold up, what just happened? And then we click rewind to actually process the glorious scene. Yeah! Welcome to the top anime fights that ended in seconds. This list drops faster than the man Barry Allen with insane aura points for fights that ended as fast as blinking. So sit back and relax while we cook.
Then you must die now.
No, you must die.
Starting off this list is Luffy versus Bellamy. Yeah, so this fight lasts less than the time it takes to read this sentence. In the scene, Bellamy, the self-proclaimed future pirate king, spends most of his time flexing his springy powers trying to show Luffy he's all tough and ready to take on the big leagues. But, Luffy just doesn't care. Bellamy comes in all cocky, bouncing around with his like a discount Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, and tries to land a punch on Luffy. And guess what? Luffy just stands there. Doesn't even flinch, and after one or two failed, pathetic attempts to hit Luffy, Bellamy is already down for the count. Luffy casually, almost lazily, takes his mess around and find out fists, hits Bellamy in the face, and boom! Bellamy's out like a nightlight. No drawn-out battle, no choreography, just one punch. Turns out Bellamy spent the whole fight throwing punches that couldn't even match the intensity of a wet noodle, while Luffy just flexed his I'm not even trying muscles. The end.
So I think I'll set you up for good this time! Don't worry, this won't take long!
Up next, we've got Saitama versus Bakuzan. In case you were wondering what it would look like if you mixed an invincible man with a punchable face, Saitama versus Bakuzan is the epitome of blink and you'll miss it. Bakuzan, a big bad monster from the Monster Association, spends 5 seconds showing off his menacing powers like he's gonna give Saitama the fight of his life. And then, boom. A little punch from Saitama and Bakuzan is toast. It's barely even a touch. No build-up, no dramatic tension, just pure Saitama doing his thing. Bakuzan barely has time to register the environment, and we see him down on the battlefield like Princess Aurora from The Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but sweet dreams, princess. Meanwhile, Saitama's thoughts are back to grabbing lunch. Classic. Zenitsu versus Tongue Demon was faster than lightning. Here's the thing about Zenitsu. When he's awake, he's the biggest coward in the world, but when he's asleep, he's a demon slayer killing machine.
You gotta warn me first, before you speak up.
Emphasis on the fight being quicker than lightning, but it's so ironic that lightning was involved. The scene starts out with Bro, who was not informed, the Tongue Demon, who thinks he's about to make a delicious meal out of Zenitsu. The demon lunges at him, thinking it's about to have a little snack, but Zenitsu, in all his sleeping glory, effortlessly slices the Tongue Demon's head off in one swift movement, like he's just chopping veggies in his sleep. So we finally get to see Bro's true power, but we're yet to see the raw one. Zenitsu wakes up, and the only thing he's concerned about is being the best lover to Nezuko. The demon, dead and forgotten. In 5th place is the iconic duel between Levi and the Beast Titan. The Beast Titan, towering and all-powerful, thinks he's about to squish Levi under his giant monstrous hands. Well, guess what? Bro was informed about the midget menace named Levi, but still got his hairy behinds whooped. In that fight, Levi shows raw Ackerman skills, thinking twice and ahead of his opponent. He not only dodges the Beast Titan's attack, he blinds and immobilizes it in split seconds while looking so cool.
A single soldier might pose a threat to me?
Yes, Captain Levi's dangerous.
In a series of rapid, heart-pounding adrenaline moments, Levi slices and dices the Beast Titan's human form like a Thanksgiving turkey. The Beast Titan, thinking he was invincible, ends up kneeling, begging for mercy without limbs to regenerate another Titan body. The entire fight is over so quickly, it's almost like watching an action movie on fast forward. The Beast Titan didn't even get to finish his sentence. Of course, the midget was no match for him. He had to retreat while the fight's timeline still ran in seconds filled with dialogues. Levi, 1. Beast Titan, 0. And for the internet's sake, would like to point out that Levi is still undefeated at making people look slow. Up next, Yuji versus Sukuna ended in seconds. Okay, Yuji versus Sukuna is a classic case of don't bite the fingers that feed you. Yuji, the protagonist of the story, doesn't quite know what's coming when he faces off against Sukuna, the king of curses himself. He's already been pushed to the limits, but thinking he could win, even in the subconscious world, is insane. Sukuna is, as we all know, the type of guy who can make entire cities disappear with a yawn. Yuji attempts his best attack, probably thinking it's the thing that'll turn the tide when offered a deal breaker by Sukuna, but before he can even get the words out, Sukuna casually pushes him off the cliff. Sukuna, the embodiment of chaos, essentially just tosses Yuji like a wet mushroom. What makes this even more laughable is that he wasn't even serious about it. One thing about Sukuna is that he just didn't need to try. Personally, I think Todoroki vs. Sero was brutal. Now, this is a bit of a joke, honestly. In the My Hero Academia world, we have Todoroki, a guy who can control both fire and ice, and Sero, the guy with tape dispensers for elbows. This is like putting a fire truck against a guy with a superpowered office supply. So when they face off, you already know who's winning. Sero tries to… Okay, I'm kidding. He doesn't even try. But if he weren't iced out in less than 10 seconds by Todoroki's ice powers, I'm guessing he'd probably tie up Todoroki or maybe offer him a nice ribbon. Sadly, in the blink of an eye, he's freezing at the center of the stage as Todoroki doesn't give him a chance to stress his tapes.
Tell the truth, Sero. Can you move at all?
Are you kidding? Obviously not. My body is freezing.
It's pretty much useless, and Todoroki doesn't even break a sweat or make an apology for the disrespectful KO. In second place, Sugishita vs. Arima nearly became One Punch Man version 2.0. I call this that one time One Punch Man had a cool-ass rebrand. The fight starts with Sugishita looking like he's about to give a lecture on how to win a fight by not fighting. Arima, of course, doesn't care. Bro totally misses body language and just goes full wrecking ball mode and charges at him like he's late for his third lunch. Sugishita, trying to keep it classy, doesn't dodge. He takes that hard slap to the gut like the man he is. Of course, in a swift moment, Arima is about to learn the consequence of overconfidence. The smile on his ugly face is wiped off in the span of a few seconds. Sugishita's cool, calm approach lands him the win as he barely breaks a sweat, while Arima is left flat on the floor, probably regretting his life choices.
Come on, that can't be real.
Don't know. Looked real.
Arima got destroyed.
In other words, the fight ends as fast as it begins. Of course, the audience knows Arima has always been all pork and no bones compared to Sugishita. Finally, Rei vs. Masami sits pretty at number 1, but with a fight dynamic that scientists have yet to uncover. This wasn't even a fight, it was an annihilation. Now, Kengan Ashura is a series filled with bone-crushing, knockout, intense battles, but the fight between Rei and Masami? It's a fight that doesn't need to take forever to end. No cap, the fight was as fast as tag, you're it! Masami's been known for his over-the-top techniques, but Rei's got that precise, calm demeanor. Masami tries to hit Rei with some of his weird, crazy moves, thinking he's gonna break Rei's defense. Rei, who's basically made of stone, just stands there, reading Masami's movements like a book. Masami attempts a few heavy strikes, only to be met by a swift, brutal counter from Rei that's over before the crowd has time to shout, "Finish him!" Masami, stunned and dazed, crumbles to the floor in a heap. The crowd? Silent, because they just witnessed a literal textbook finish. Rei barely moved a muscle. The fight was so quick, it made instant noodles look like a slow burn. On this note, we've come to the end of this video. Let us know in the comments which fight should have made it and if you agree with this list. Finally, don't forget to hit the bell icon so we see you in the next upload.